Hey everybody, welcome to the Outlet Podcast. My name is Gazy. I'm the host of the Outlet Podcast, and I invite you to check me out not only here on YouTube where you like and subscribe, please, por favor, but also check out my free podcast, the Outlet Podcast, on iTunes, Soundcloud, Stitcher Radio, all that. Everything, as well as my Facebook and Twitter, is going to be linked in the description below. Today's video is going to be uploaded to the Guys Only playlist. The Guys Only playlist, it's advice that I wish I were to give myself. The slogan to that kind of changed over time because I realized that were I to have the advice or the knowledge that I have now, I would do certain things differently in my life. So yeah, guys, what I want to do today is talk about school and your career. And it could be a very broad thing, but it has to start somewhere. And that is what is most scary. Trying to start a career. How do you start a career? How do you start your schooling? Well, it's what troubled me when I was going to school, because after paying back loans and paying back loans with other loans that I've had to do and a lot of other stuff like that, I'm finally at my local college and I'm taking general education courses. And this is where I started. This is my meat and potatoes. I had to start here because, well, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I said, let me just do AA and we'll see if I'm going to go towards a bachelor's or an associate's of science. So that's where I started off, and that's where I think you should start off too. Just knock out your general education. Stop thinking about your future. Stop thinking about trying to be the hotshot lawyer, or you're trying to be like, I don't know, like Dr. Gray or something. You can't start there. That's not a good place to start. It's not. Maybe up here it might be, but practically, no. You're gonna have to knock out your general education. It's something that's inevitable, and it does stink. Here's the reality that I face, guys. I've went to a number of different schools, and currently, some of the classes that I've taken to get my AA, although they're legitimate classes, now I'm not gonna count the fact that I went to massage school. And maybe I'll do a video about massage therapy, because I never thought about making a video about massage therapy. But I was a licensed massage therapist, but none of those anatomy and physiology classes transfer over. None of them do. So I've taken some actually credible classes, and none of them apply. And that stinks, because when you actually think about how much a class costs per credit hour, and the fact that it doesn't fit into your area of study, that's very heartbreaking. So my recommendation to you, so you don't have your heart broken, is that you actually go into an AA, and this is your next step. You're gonna have to figure out, an AA is a long degree. It's not something you can get overnight. It's gonna take time to get an AA. So while you're taking your general eds, your English 1, 2, fundamentals of speech, 2 maths, 2 social sciences, some humanities and electives, all that, while you're doing your general eds. Save your electives, and this is why. Your community college, your local college might have extracurricular activities that go on. Attend those extracurricular activities. Why? Because it is in those activities you're going to learn what you want to do and what you don't want to do. For example, the college I'm going to, Valencia, they had a associates convention, associates con. They called it a convention. It's kind of cute, I guess. But at the convention, they had most of their social associates of science degrees presented. And so I thought that my current life situation, since I want to get out and work right now, I was like, well, let me go and check out what associate's degrees are offered, and because I was looking at the annual, how much someone with the AS degree might make a year, and especially in the degrees areas I wanted to go into. I thought about accounting, and I thought about business, and something in business like finance. Not owning a business. I hate owning a business. I love the free time. I love getting lunch on my own time. I hate people. And when it comes to business, I hate the fact that you're trying to go the extra mile, and the consumer wants, or that who is serviced, the person that's serviced, extends the distance. So you're trying to go the extra mile, and they're just adding more and more and more. And here's the problem: they're adding so much more, and they're not paying. So I don't tolerate that. I can't stand this anymore. So I got to get out of business. I was thinking about finance and banking around those areas because. Oh, I'll get to that. So I went to this convention, and I learned, all right, business is very vague. Very vague. Unless you are a shark and you want money, don't get into business. Unless you're a shark, you have a crazy drive. Don't try to pass off this fake rapper motivation that I've seen so often, where people are like, oh, I'm driven, man. I want to make that money. Get the heck out. Get the heck out. No one takes that serious. That's not serious. That's not how you make money. Drive, motivation. You have to be a shark. You have to be a tiburon, bro. And you have to go out and get it. No matter what. Regardless of emotions, regardless of feelings. No, business is cut and dry. So unless you have that very driven, I'm talking about high octane drive, don't get into business. Don't get into business. So I went to business. I was like, nah, that's not for me. I went to the associate's one for accounting, and I was very interested in being a forensic accountant. That sounded amazing, very interesting. The problem was that the AS degree, you can get it, and you can go and start doing basic stuff, not high level accounting. I'm talking about super basic, adding numbers stuff. You would have had to take extra financing classes, not only to enter into that program, but also to enter into the program, the bachelor's degree at the next college that you want to go to. And that's something else. The college that I go to offers articulated AS degrees. So they're articulated in so much that they will lead you towards the bachelor's degree in that field. So that's not too bad. So I went to this activity. I went to this current event, extracurricular event, and I learned I need something that can pay me now and that will suit me for a bachelor's degree to get more money in the future. So right now, I'm stuck getting my AA degree. And that kind of stinks, but I'm going to have a good foundation towards something in the future. Now, not only that, but I know now, after going to these different extracurricular events, I've learned that I want to enter into radiology. I want to be a radiologist. They call it MRI, radiography, all these different ways. I got my employee in the background there. So I want to enter into radiology because it can pay me the most now, and it's a very interesting field, and it's very satisfying, and that's what I really want the most. I want that satisfaction. I want to enter into a great career, very respectable career as well. So I know this now. Because one of the classes, this is I guess my second point. My first one is do these extracurricular activities, go to them. But also point 2 is the new student experience class. My local college, Valencia, offers a class called New Student Experience. And I really hated it because it's costing me money, and I'd rather that money go towards an actual class. But with this class, it offers up many career assessment tests, personality assessment tests, and it really helped me realize who I am as a person. Because even though I do podcasts, even though I do vlogs, and I might seem that I'm aware of who I am as a human being, I am not. And And it is in this class I learned that you should make your talent, whatever you're talented in or whatever talent you possess, that should help you in the field that you're going to enter into. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I was interested in radiology. And it's because of this class I learned about nuclear medicine, that one of the career assessments told me that I should look into health sciences and nuclear medicine. And that was pretty cool. So you try to rationalize your life and you say, well, you can't be a doctor. You can't be a physical therapist. What can you be in the time frame that you have? That's something very important to figure out. Because if you're 18 years old and you're watching this vlogcast, my recommendation, you have time, take advantage of it. Take advantage. Take your SATs, do your dual enrollment classes. It's going to put a damper on your social life. But guess what? If your friends don't want to stick around, if your friends don't want to stick around you while you are studying, or they don't want to put up with you, or they unfriend you because you don't have time for them, well, they might not be your friends, or they might not respect you, which is even worse. You want someone who's going to be there for you all the time. And so this is very important, because it's about you. It's about you. It's not about them. This is what you want to do with the rest of your life. So if you're 18, 20, 45 and you're watching this, this is about you. So figure that out. Your local college will have something along these lines. It might not have a new student survey, new student experience class, but take advantage of your professors, because they want you to succeed regardless of how hard they may be, and your career and academic advisors. They have to be there on the campus. Talk to them. I'm going to see them right now to articulate my next few months, my next few semesters towards my studies. So take advantage of these people. They are living resources for you to use. So that's number 2. And number 3, I actually owe a lot to a poet. He did a master class at Valencia, and his name is Richard Blanco. If you don't know who he is, he's an amazing individual. He wrote a very distinguished poem for the Pulse nightclub shooting. Look it up online. He also shared a poem during, I believe, President Barack Obama's first or second inauguration. I think it was the first one. And so that's very, very, very cool. And he's a very awesome person. And he answered one of my questions at this symposium, if you will. And I asked him, so should you follow your passion or a career? And well, he said, well, you need a career to follow your passions. And when he explained, he kept on explaining, I came to the revelation, not only listening to him, but also that you're not always going to, your passion is not always going to be your career. It can be something else. For example, I'm not being paid to vlog. I'm not being paid to podcast. I'm not being paid to play my guitar. I'm not being paid to other things. I'm not being paid to do these things, but they're passions of mine. I'm not being paid to be a Sunday school teacher, but they're passions of mine. So you follow your passions, and I'm also writing my young adult novel. I follow your passions, follow them, and your career, whatever you're good at here terrestrially in this natural world, will help you in the supernatural of your passion. So if you're good at playing, like look at Tebow. Tebow was a great college athlete. Now he's a great athlete, period. Because he's a great athlete, he's able to finance his dreams by playing baseball and by playing football. He's able to finance whatever he wants to. Anything that might bring him joy, he can finance. Don't be discouraged if you are good at accounting, but that's not your passion. If you can make that a career, and find success and some joy and happiness out of it, that's awesome. That's amazing. But if you're good at something, never do it for free. Joker, Heath Ledger. Anyways, guys, I guess those three things. Richard Blanco, number 3. Number 2, take advantage of career assessments and all that kind of stuff. Your academic and career advisors at your local college. And number 1, I forget what it was. I forget what number 1 was. Oh yeah, go for your general studies. And actually, I think number 1 was actually go to extracurricular events. So my name's Gazy, host of the Outlet Podcast. Got to go back to work. Connect and recharge.